formalities, as long as she understands that I'll need to spend some time here yet." Helen Carthallow seemed content to allow her immediate destiny to be arranged for her. Her face was white and drawn, and there was strain in her dark eyes and the pinched appearance of her nostrils. The rigidity that had marked her when she had been telling her story had vanished. She looked small and lonely and very pathetic. She answered the further questions the inspector put to her, agreed to the accuracy of her statement when he went painstakingly through it with her, and agreed to sign the typewritten copy as soon as it was available. "It will be necessary for me to keep my men on the premises, Mrs. Carthallow," he told her. "If you feel that you would prefer to be present—" He left the opening for her. She said, "I know I can leave matters in your hands, Inspector. When the servants arrive, perhaps you will arrange to send them over to me at Mrs. Evelyn's, so that I can see what will be the best thing to do." "You don't propose to come back tonight?" he asked, and Mordecai Tremaine saw her shiver. "Not unless I have to," she said in a low voice. "I couldn't stay here alone. Not now. I'm sure that Hilda, Mrs. Eveland, will let me stay with her." Tremaine knew Hilda Eveland. She lived about half a mile or so away on the outskirts of Falport. She was middle-aged and one of those plump, cheerful people who never seemed to lose their good humour. She lived permanently in the district, but she had seen a good deal of the Carthallows during their periodic visits to Paradise. The doctor had had to leave his car on the mainland, since the bridge was too narrow to permit its passage. Mordecai Tremaine stood watching with Inspector Penross as he went down the drive with Helen Carthallow. She stumbled once, and he saw Corbyn's hand go out to help her. "Going over that bridge is the only way of getting to this place, isn't it?" Penross asked. Tremaine nodded. The inspector said as they went back inside the house, "Would it be possible for anyone to climb up from the beach and reach the grounds?" "I don't think so. The cliff is too sheer for that." "Did you see anyone else about when you went in with Mrs. Carthallow?" "No." It was a worried sound. Penross frowned. "I think," he said, "we'll take another look around." Mordecai Tremaine was feeling worried too. He was remembering how Helen Carthallow had gone up the cliff path ahead of him, and how she had looked about her when she reached the top, as though she had half expected to find someone there. But he didn't mention that fact. He felt that at this stage it would only serve to introduce an unnecessary complication. Penross went back into the study where Adrian Carthallow's body lay. "The photographers and fingerprint people ought to be here soon," he said. "They've got to come from Wadstow. In the meantime, let's see what there is to see." Mordecai Tremaine followed him gingerly, trying to tread lightly and avoid touching anything. A pair of sunglasses lay upon a chair by the bookcase that occupied part of one wall. They looked as though they might have been placed there carelessly by someone who had come in out of the sun to search for a book on the shelves. Penross glanced reflectively at them for an instant or two as he passed. Suddenly he pursed his lips and went down on one knee. "Hello," he observed. "What's this?" Tremaine looked over his shoulder at the metal object lying on the floorboards between the edge of the carpet and the skirting. "There seems to be a pair of forceps," he remarked, "the kind surgeons use for holding arteries during operations. The Spencer-Wells type, I think they call them." "Funny sort of thing for an artist to have," Penross said. He peered at them. Several tiny slivers of wood were adhering to the serrations, but otherwise they seemed to be unmarked. "No sign of blood on them, anyway." They left the study, and the inspector carried out a brief tour of the house. The place was not large, but it was expensively furnished. "Must have spent a small fortune on it," Penross mused, as they glanced into the beautifully fitted bathroom adjoining the main bedroom. "Nice to be able to paint pictures that bring in that much money." There was no sign of anything to arouse